it artificial.
I heard it for 6 hours on the boat.
Jim caught a number of small baits in the cast net. And just for something different, on one of the shows, TV shows, somebody had said to make a little teaser of it. And we took the small hooks with one bait in the head and one bait in the tail, so they fought each other, but you took something that looked like this size, and with both of them running,
Right.
it made it bigger,
Right.
and it worked.
Right. Right.
First cast he throws out. God almighty, I can't believe I'm saying this. First cast he throws out, boom, gets a trout on. And he looks at me and he's laughing. Y'all know Steve. So he goes, try it. I didn't want to because if it worked, I'd never hear the end of it. So he said, try it. Tried it. The cork wasn't even wet and I had a trout on. For the next 6 hours, I heard nothing about, you gotta call Mike and Billy and tell them about the teaser. You gotta call Mike and Billy and tell them about the teaser all day long. It worked. It was something different.
Yeah.
They were fighting each
Well,
other.
it creates a bigger profile. Gets their attention.
We ended up hitting 16 trout. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Ever talk about short fishing?
About what?
Short fishing.
Shore fishing?
What about people who don't
Well,
have
we
a
can,
boat?
yeah, we
Wade
can.
fishing?
Yeah, we can do a wade fishing thing.
Yeah.
If I'm sure there's other guys around. I don't. It's like a guy called me one day and he wanted to do a charter. He said, "Well, I want to do a wade fishing charter. I got a condo in Clearwater. I come down in the wintertime. I want to learn how to wade fish." I said, "Well, I got a Hills Bay boat. It floats in 5 inches of water. What do you want to wade for?" You know. So needless to say, he did. I said, "Sure, I'll take you and I'll teach you how." But he wanted to learn the techniques. But he never got his feet wet. You know, I took him back in the shallow water and showed him the techniques to do, the baits to use, how to rig them up. You know. Now that guy, you know, I do charters like that. I do charters where people come here, and I know they're local. Okay, they're not going to find my secret spot, but I'm going to show them some spots that they can go to and catch fish. My neighbor there, Art, I'll take him out there, show him some spots. Of course, he'll take me out there and show me some spots. So, you know.
When you're doing that wade fishing, if that's what you like to do, if that's the only thing you're able to do, all the same tactics apply. Except for the fact that actually in some cases, a wade fisherman might have a little bit better advantage because you're going to be able to get in places that somebody in a boat can't get to, but the same, look for the point, look for the sandbar, look for the tide line, look for this, it's all the same. Except you're going to be using the same exact bait, the retrieval's going to be the same, everything's going to be the same except for the fact that I'm standing in fiberglass and you're standing in mud.
All this stuff I told you about negative tides, wade fishing applies.
My kayak works fine.
You know, if you look back in there, if you go there, go to an area when it's got a negative tide, and first of all, you can see the bottom, so you know what you're dealing with. Okay, you know if it's going to be a sandy bottom or a muddy bottom. But you can see, because if you can get to where that one place where we had a shallow and then the trough was in the back with the black water, okay, you can get in there before anybody else if you can wade. You can wade across there, because I know guys that will fish close to me because what they'll do is they'll come in the outside bar, outside of Little Cockroach. They'll come to that outside bar. They can't go any farther. They'll anchor their boat there. Then they get out and wade on into the mangrove edge and fish it. Same as Port Manatee. They'll stop at the outside bar, get out, and then they'll wade. But all these things apply.
Most of the wade fishing that we ever did before we got the boat was there at Simmons.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
great little, I don't know of a nicer park on the West Coast.
Port Manatee used to be great when I was a kid. I'm fourth generation in this area, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
but
an
that
Orvis
was
and Dorse
75
guy.
years ago.
What's that?
That was 75 years
Yeah.
ago. They had boats back
I'm an Orvis and Dorse guide. I'm a Hills Bay guide. I grew up fishing this area, pulling old gillnet cast net skiffs made out of cypress wood. That's why everybody says, how can you pull this boat all day long? I'm one of the few, there's not a whole lot of us in this area that pole the boat any length of time. 70% of the time I'm on the water, I'm on the pulling platform. But it's because, man, when I grew up, when I was 10, 12 years old, our pole was a big cypress pole that weighed 30, 40 pounds. And we were pushing a boat that weighed 1,500, 2,000 pounds with a net on it. We didn't have a motor. So, you know, Hills Bay is nothing. It weighs 600 pounds.
Something much.
soaking wet, and it tracks true, and it's easy to pole. But I just love it. I'm on the platform and I can see everything. I go out there so many days I can't tell you and never pick up a rod. Go back in a little cockroach and I just get up and pole because I got to know where the fish are at. I got to know what they're doing. So I'll get on the platform and just pole back through there. And I take people back in there and pole them through that water, especially when it gets clear. And it's amazing the life that's back there. People come from Europe, they can't believe it because osprey to them. To see one osprey to them is exciting. We'll be back in there in the mornings and there'll be 6 ospreys fishing a little cockroach. And it's just awesome. I mean, the dolphins. I love the porpoise dolphin come around. I love it. If you'll watch the dolphins, when they work a flat, if you'll watch them, they'll show you where the fish are at. I can show you spots right in front of my house where it's just a depression. But every time those dolphins come in there, they're going to circle that because they'll show you where those holes are at on that open flat if you've never been on that flat before. If you'll watch them, they'll show you because they'll work that flat and then you'll see them hit an area and all of a sudden they're working it. That's a place where fish normally stay.
Hey, Cap.
Yeah.
After you lose a couple of cast nets, you won't like the porpoises anymore.
I don't throw cast nets on. Yeah, I don't. Well, and I had one guy tell me the other day that they've got one over, where was it at? He said it's close to the Skyway.
Yeah.
Before dark, though. He's not after daylight. But he comes and he said he'll pull the net and shake it and get the bait out of it and rip holes in it.
Oh, he goes right into you, that breaks it out apart, yeah.
Don't go to the Fort Sutter Pier.
Yeah, Fort
Well,
Sutter Pier, that's
that's
where
the
yeah,
pole.
that's
I don't go off the 6-foot marker. That's as far as I go, is run the 6-foot line.
How often do you wade fish, sir?
Well, we've only been here a couple of months, so we've done it twice.
I do want to tell you,
I'm going to give you a quick tip if you're going to wade fish, especially around here. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of stingray. Get a good pair of wading shoes. Up here, Flint Creek Outfitters,
Yep.
off of Bell Shoals and Boyette. There's a great place to get them. We're right over here at South Shore Bait and Tackle. But the key to it, get you a good pair of wading shoes. Because you step on a stingray just right, you'll know it.
Yeah, you gotta
well,
shuffle your
and
feet.
the key is don't pick your feet up.
Yeah.
Shuffle.
Shuffle your feet. At least drag your toes. Because if you touch them on the side, they'll flutter and go off. If you step on top of them, they'll pop you. And it does hurt. If you do get stung by a stingray or a catfish, first thing you want to do is run that under just as hot of water as you can stand it as soon as possible. Whether it's exhaust, whether you run back somewhere and let somebody run hot water. If you run hot water on it, their poison is a protein. Okay? It cooks at low temperature. If you cook the protein, it dissipates the poison. Okay? So that's just a little tip. I got all kinds of useless knowledge. So.
Jellyfish and feet.
Anybody else have any
Any other
questions?
questions?
Yeah, I got one more. Steve, I didn't find the guarantee for these little catch fish. I didn't find it over there.
No more questions, guys?
Oh, I have about 20 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Also, now my website is redfishlandingguideservice.com. Okay? You can email me. If you have questions, especially about fly fishing, but any other questions, you're welcome to send me an email. I'll send you an answer back, hopefully. If I don't know it, I can get in touch with somebody that does.
So if we
I know
email you where to go, you'll tell us?
Well, no. I'll tell you where to go. I do a lot with
middle of the bay. He said the
I do a lot with Danny Garino, Rick Lyles. You know, we're 3 guys that grew up this area, and they're the few captains that I talk to because I'm up on the flat. I normally see bait on the flat before they do. They're running it up to the Skyway. So, you know, that's a relationship that we have. If I see bait up there, I'll tell them. Then if I see it 3 days in a row, I tell them it's been there. And they don't have to run out to the Skyway, especially with fuel being like it is. But both of those guys are great. And like I said, any way I can help you, be glad to.
You got any of your business
I
cards?
do this because I love it. Okay? I don't do it for a living.
You got plenty of business cards?
Yeah, I've got a few here. I get some more in the truck.
And then Dad's going to get your link to your website. We'll put it on our website. That way they see your name. Just click on your name and it'll go operate to your website. You'll be going that way. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Excellent.